everybody, welcome to Impossible Coin. First, I want to go ahead and identify myself, Brian Cartwright, as a hero.
No! Full stop! God damn it! Not today. Of all days.
Guys, it has been a real week for me. An absolute rough show. For a variety of reasons, most of which I will not detail on the show because, dear audience, you don't engage enough with me on social media to allow me to feel that I can be intimate with you in that way. I can't share this shit with you. I mean, I might in a couple of weeks.
They don't engage with me at all, and that's why I feel the most comfortable sharing stuff with them.
Oh, okay. Well, then, I guess when shit gets dark for Tegan, you could expect to hear about it.
Probably.
Yeah. But there was so much stuff that we'll eventually get to in the news that I was like, holy shit. If I don't talk about that this week, then I will feel like I have not done a good job at doing this podcast game. Because, apparently video games decided to, pop off this week. There's some, real serious news. I mean, goddamn. The shit happened. And I felt I also had a responsibility to provide a conclusion to the story of Ask Me Where My Copy of SNK Heroines is. Which has been an ongoing segment, saga, whatevs.
Saga.
I also want to point out that because of weird time differences, there was a WWE pay-per-view that happened at 2 a.m. my time because the show was live from Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, so it's basically like you were watching New Japan.
No, it would be like I was watching New Japan, but I am an old broken man, Rocky Hardy from West Texas, and I am just not built for that. Tegan Somerset from America's unshampooed crotch known as Ohio.
Yo, chill out.
What?
Ohioans are better.
No, Ohioans are fine. It's Ohio that's this problem.
Well, I mean, I can't disagree with you exactly, because Ohio kind of sucks. But we make a lot of corn, and there's a lot of corn in between the places where there are people. Yep.
In fact,
and soybeans, apparently.
When I become the director of Ohio's image rehabilitation program, I'm going to change the state slogan to "We make a lot of corn." It's going to be incredible.
What's our state slogan now? Oh, isn't it the Heartland?
Well, let's find out.
I think it is the Heartland.
This is going to be exciting. This is going to be live research.
We do it periodically because we forget to look things up or things come up during the show where we're like, wait, what is it?
Okay. All right, Tegan. Have you got on your rage helmet? Ohio's official state slogan is, "With God, all things are possible."
What? Really?
Yes.
Really? That doesn't sound right.
Look, Tegan, I just did the legwork on this.
Let me...
Wait, you're like, I'm sorry, Brian, your Google is not as good as my Google.
Yeah, your Google's as good as my Google, and my Google's saying, the heart of it all is what it used to be, and now it's so much to discover, birthplace of aviation.
Wait, isn't that North Carolina?
No!
Okay.
North Carolina is a better place to be first in flight.
Oh, you're right. That one is right.
Which isn't wrong. I mean, North Carolina is a better place to be than Ohio. Jesus.
A third of North Carolina is underwater or some shit, Tegan.
Who's the Heartland then? Because I thought it was us, because we're shaped like a heart.
No, the Heartland I think is a nickname, but I don't think it's their slogan.
Oh, motto. That's our motto.
Okay.
With God, all things are possible. Ugh.
Okay.
Well, okay, so you can change our state motto to whatever you want, but please keep up the hell is real signs.
I think I will then change the state motto to "Please keep up the hell is real signs."
How about just, hell is real and it's Ohio?
Oh, God.
I don't know. Have you seen the hell is real signs?
Oh, yeah, totally. They're...
Okay.
Yep.
Rocky, you've seen it too?
The hell is real signs have been discussed on this program.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I do like them.
We discussed them in the same episode. We talked about a large melted, I believe, Christ.
Oh, yes!
Yeah, so
Big
see,
Butter Jesus.
Tegan, there's a continuity to this program.
Yeah, someone's already working on the timeline.
Is the continuity that I live in Ohio?
Well, it's certainly part of the continuity.
Ugh.
You know.
Ohio's
What if the
okay.
Ohio saying just goes full weeb and they just call it Ohio, welcome to Ohio?
Ohio gozaimasu, that's it. It's just Ohio gozaimasu.
They have a severe influx of Japanese immigrants.
I mean, our big, like the big winter anime convention is called OhioCon. But it's spelled O-H-A-Y-O, like hello, instead of O-H-I-O. But they're pronounced the same, so fuck it.
I love it. It's dope.
Another possible Ohio State motto is just "so fuck it."
Fuck it!
Yeah, I vomited in Ohio once.
You what?
Yeah. That's
mean,
That's like the extent of your contribution to Ohio at the moment.
Well, no, okay, so
I barfed here.
well, okay, so Rocky,
Yes.
my friend Jeff and I were on our way to visit some friends at Oberlin,
Mm-hmm.
and our journey took us through Western Pennsylvania, where we purchased a 3.5-foot long blowgun that fired paintballs.
Okay.
And then we stopped at a adult bookstore in West Virginia in order to purchase a large rubber wiener. And we continued our drive. And then we stopped at Arby's. And this was the worst of the stops.
The Arby's was?
Yes. Because my body has never been able to process the meats. I have never not eaten at Arby's and not fucking vomited nearly immediately afterwards.
Why do you keep eating there then?
Oh, Tegan, I stopped. I've learned my lesson. I think I had to eat at Arby's, I guess 3 or 4 times total in my life just to eliminate the possibility that maybe I was, just had some kind of stomach bug that day, or maybe it was something else, or what, just something but I think I've eaten at Arby's 3 or 4 total times now. And I was just it is obviously fucking Arby's, because every time I eat the Arby's, I pop. So.
Well, that's the saying, third time might be the charm.
Yep. And so there was definitely a time where I was standing on the side of a freeway in Ohio, vomiting, holding a rubber wiener.
Why did you have to hold the rubber wiener?
Because I wanted it to look funny if anybody drove by. Because there's a man puking holding a rubber dick.
I mean, that is an image.
Yep. And then when we got to Oberlin, everything froze, and the whole town was a sheet of ice. The whole time we were there, it was.
That sounds that sounds like Ohio.
Yeah.
Frozen wasteland. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's well, I guess we can't really go anywhere while we're here now that this town's a fucking apocalypse.
What?
No.
What about temporary tundra?
Yep. False tundra.
Apocalypse. What?
The apocalypse.
It's not. We're pretty good at dealing with ice. I'm sure if you just waited for the salt trucks to go, you would have been fine. Making it to your car might be. Yeah, I mean, making it to your car might be a little risky, but after that, should be okay.
One thing that really surprised me about Oberlin was that flyers weren't allowed on any walls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's because of the college.
Yeah, they're flyers aren't allowed on walls. So I was but college kids live and die by flyers. That's integral to their existence. I wonder what college kids will do. So I then saw that what college kids in Oberlin were doing at the time was just taping flyers to the fucking ground like some kind of animal.
Yep.
And I'm yep. I'm
that's a strat.
Yeah. I'm here we go. I guess that's a thing.
There's a lot of chalking in Oberlin too, in the spring and the summer.
Yep.
I did that in school too. We used to advertise our parties that way.
But as exciting as road vomit and wieners are, we're not here for those things.
Are you sure?
Tegan, if you have any kind of evidence to support the idea that we're here for vomit and road wieners, then I'm here for it.
How about the last 10 minutes?
Oh, God,
That's how we choose to open the show.
Oh, God.
Well, I hope that our regular listeners will say, yep, this sure does sound like an impossible coin. And to the inevitable 1 or 2 or 3 people who picked this episode to check in for the first time, we are a video game podcast. We swear. But don't worry. This show is usually these 3 jackasses here having a good time. And I think that it usually works out to be a good time.
Brian, they know we swear because we're marked as explicit.
Okay, Brian, tell us about this. End the SNK heroin saga.
Yo, I got my SNK heroines.
Hey, let's get it.
You did?
Yep.
So my boy's gonna be playing with Skullomania and shit.
Wait, so what happened? Wait. How did we get this? How did we go from it's lost forever to I have a copy now?
Okay.
Did you just buy a different copy?
So, after I sent them the message that said, so you're going to wait for your warehouse to update you on a UPS claim that that they're making before you refund me or replace me. Like 3 days go by. And then the person comes back and is like, I have been authorized to send out a replacement copy.
Nice.
At which point, they sent out a replacement copy via the UPS.
To the same goddamn mystery address.
Negative!
Oh, yay!
Which they shipped directly to my home, which means I am now in possession of a fucking Fatal Cutie hat.
Hey.
Yeah. So it is a real nice collector's edition. Absolutely fantastic. Lots of cool stuff in there. Lots of pins. There's a soundtrack. There is the questionable thing that seems to come in so many collector's editions, which feature lots of cute girls, which I wish they would kind of stop including. It's like, there's a little towel. I'm like, this is gross. Stop putting little towels in collector's editions of games.
I know why they do that, though.
We all know why they do it, Tegan. It's not.
No, I think Tegan has a wholesome reason.
Yeah, I have an actual reason as to why small, like, hand towels are included in limited editions of Japanese games. Because it's humid as fuck in Japan. And you use it as a sweat towel.
Okay, well, let's throw this out here.
Like, legit. I bought a small, limited edition Valentine's Pikachu set of towels when I was in Japan, and I literally carried them everywhere and used them as hand towels in bathrooms because there's no fucking paper towels in the bathrooms, and I used it as a sweat rag when it was fucking hot as hell out.
So, what?
Like, they legit have uses.
But what if...
It's not a wank rag! It's not a wank rag, Brian. That's what the little tiny statue is for. Jesus.
But what if your collector's edition is not being sold in Japan and is instead being sold in the United States? Like, then I guess Japanese humidity doesn't really explain a need for...
I mean, I'd still use it for the same stuff.
No, Tegan, I'm not disputing how you're going to use it.
No, but that's not what she's saying. Like, she's saying that that's, like, the common use for, like, that shit. And, like, they're still weebs. They probably do the same shit. You
can also, like, a lot of people buy collector's towels and frame them because they have art on them.
There is art on this wank rag.
Yeah, it's not a wank rag. It's a collector's piece.
Also, can't it be both?
No, it can't be both. If you wank with it, you're ruining the collector's value and probably the art.
No, I assure you, like, I agree, but can't, like, but it's not like I'm going to be, like, wearing this Fatal Cutie hat because I want to keep it nice. You know, it's not like I'm going to take the pins out of the pin set because I want to keep them nice because it's a collector's edition.
You're not going to take the pins out of the pin set?
You're not going to wear the Fatal Cutie hat?
That's what your Eat-A-Bag is for. You put those pins in your Eat-A-Bag.
What's an Eat-A-Bag?
I'm so glad you asked.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
So remember when I spent fucking $800 on Digimon merchandise?
I do remember that,
Yes.
yes.
I spent it so I could put it in an eat-a-bag. An eat-a-bag is literally a pain bag, and it's because you love something so much, your wallet is in pain for all the merchandise you bought from it, and you need a place to display all the merchandise. So what you do, and carry it around, and show how much you love this thing. So you buy a bag that's got a plastic window in the front, and you display your stuff in that window. Or you go like absolutely fucking nuts and make yourself a samurai suit out of Nozomi badges. Whatever, man.
Spell eat a bag.
ITABAG. They're cute! Look at all these cute bags!
Yeah, that way they stay nice, because they're protected by the plastic shield.
Yeah, and you can carry it around, and you don't have to worry about losing them, because all the stuff is contained within the bag. So even if the pin breaks or whatever, you're still gonna have it, because all it's gonna do is fall to the bottom of your bag.
Jesus.
Although, like, some people do get crazy. I'm gonna send into the...
No, I am sure I'm already down this rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah? Are you in the weeb armor?
Weeb
Weeb armor! Look at the weeb armor! Love Live people are nuts! They are 100% nuts, but there's so much merch for Love Live, and once it's gone, it's fucking gone. Like, even the resale value is crazy for it, because people love it so much. And I don't blame them. But, like, yeah, so I'm trying to get myself a good old-fashioned eat-a-bag for my... Oh, is this... Yeah! Yeah! Udapri, too! Udapri's nuts! But I'm trying to get a good... It's not a mistake. It's a multi-million-dollar industry, Brian. Jesus. I'm trying to get myself a good bag for TK, but the problem is all the green bags I'm finding are like that minty green color, which is really more of a feminine look. And I'm looking for something that's like green, like actually like foresty green more than anything else. But yeah, cause all the backgrounds on his stuff are yellow. Yeah. Cause the Crest of Hope is yellow. And so I don't want to get a yellow bag cause I'm afraid it's gonna, like, he's gonna blend into the bag too much. You know?
I get that. So you want the green so it'll pop.
Yeah, I want the green so it'll pop. But yeah. I'm gonna end up with like half a dozen bags easily because they're so cute. There's so much merch and it's so good. And a lot of these, like the bigger bags, they come with removable inserts. So you can take out your girls with all the pins still on and put in a different one.
That's solid.
Yeah, and then you can carry them to different events. So a lot of people will do that too. But yeah, the weeb armor is new, and that's like intense.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it makes stuff really expensive. Like when it's initially released, it's not too bad, but then like when people are hunting for it is when it gets bad. Like there's one TK badge that's like $500, and I'm just like, no.
So
no.
Tegan, what's been going on?
The world sucks. And I started watching Free.
Free is actually not bad, though.
So far, they're good boys, but I don't understand how this one guy is like, I can't swim at all, except the butterfly.
Oh, yeah. No, I think
what
that's
is
like
wrong with him?
That's definitely like a common trope in like sports like stories, especially like with ensemble casts. I think my first experience with it was in D2 The Mighty Ducks, because I saw D2 before I saw The Mighty Ducks. Mm-hmm. Where they had that one Puerto Rican skater that like just couldn't stop. Like he was outrageously fast, like one of the fastest like kids under 18 like that could skate, but he didn't know how to stop on ice skates. Just had no idea, no clue. And then later on he learns how to stop, and it's like this huge thing, and he scores a goal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But like I don't get it. Like, does he have a faulty swim bladder? Is that the problem? We all know these men are fish. Like, come on.
Wait, what is it? This is just like an elaborate retelling of Shape of Water?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a very elaborate retelling of Shape of Water because Haru X Water is the OTP. Brian's like, I don't know what's going on. Free is an anime about boys who make a swim team. And there's a lot of shots of them. You know, they have swimmers' bodies, so they're all muscly and fucking ripped as shit, and they're all really tall. And it's just them in, like, really form-fitting swimmers' outfits. Mm-hmm. And it was the first real instance of reverse fan service.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it's the first popularized instance of reverse fan service. And then the anime industry went, oh, women also buy anime merchandise. We can do this. And then suddenly there was a bunch of shows that had some amount of reverse fan service for the ladies.
Oh.
Yeah. Wait, did Yuri on Ice come out before or after Free?
After.
Right?
Yeah.
Fucking Yuri on Ice, man.
Yuri on Ice was the first modern popularization. That feels wrong, but whatever. Of a healthy same-sex relationship.
True.
Between men specifically, because Sailor Moon and Revolutionary Girl Utena both had healthy same-sex female relationships.
But then we got Citrus, like, the same year.
Yeah, Citrus. We don't talk about Citrus.
True enough.
This season, there's an anime called Zombieland, which is about a bunch of cute girls and zombies.
So Jesse Eisenberg is not in it.
No, Jesse Eisenberg is not in it.
He's not in most things.
He was in Zombieland.
He was in Zombieland. But, the designs look really cute, but I hate zombies. Like, very much hate zombies. So I don't know how, I'm gonna have to wait until a couple episodes are online, and then I'm gonna have to watch it and see whether or not I can actually handle it.
Wait, what's your beef with zombies?
I don't do zombies.
Well, I mean, I get
don't.
that.
I just don't. Zombies give me literal actual nightmares.
Okay.
Like night terror style nightmares, like waking up screaming. Not a good time, but a lot of really good media have zombies in it. So like I have to very carefully decide what zombie media I can consume. So like I did Shaun of the Dead, that was okay. More or less, because it was more silly than anything else. Mm-hmm. Zombieland was almost a very bad idea. But, like, High School of the Dead, which is a really bad, really fan-servicey zombie anime, was a no-go. Okay. That was a mistake. And and, like, with zombie stuff, I have to watch to the end, because I can't just stop in the middle, or I'll give myself day terrors, too.
Yeah.
So, like, I watched the whole anime in, like, 2 days.
That's like, a lot.
Without sleeping, because I couldn't stop it.
That's
and
so
then
much.
Immediately had night terrors and had to wake up my roommate who has insomnia. Well, at the time, like, he still has insomnia, but at the time, like, he was, like, when we were roommates, he was suffering from insomnia. And I called him at, like, 4 a.m. and I was like, I know that you are sleeping and that you never sleep, but will you please come downstairs and turn on my bedroom light because my brain has convinced me my room is full of zombies. And he was just like, and then like turned off the phone and I was like, oh god. And then he knocked on my door and I fucking screamed.
Oh god.
Like I was being murdered, I screamed.
Tegan, please.
It was a bad time, but yeah. So I want to watch it, but it might be too much. I'm sorry, I'm a baby. I'm a big old baby.
I don't know, sometimes your brain does terrible things.
My brain is very good at doing terrible things! Thanks, brain.
Okay, you play any games? Tegan?
Did I play any games? I don't know. What are video games anyway?
Tegan, please.
Fair question. Fair question, Tegan.
We're a video game podcast.
Splatoon 2 is doing a Halloween event.
Yes.
Called Splatoween. And I started playing some of that. I picked my team. I'm on Team Treat. Despite my heart wants to be on Team Trick, but my blood wants me to be on Team Treat. So I'm on Team Treat.
That is on brand.
I know, right? So I'm wearing the spooky hockey mask.
Uh-huh.
And I got like the devil horns and the demon with the paper on it, and
I like the fish hat.
Yeah, the anglerfish hat has ink saver mane.
Yeah, right?
So like I want to wear it, but also like I know they put it on that one because that was the worst and it makes me mad. Like it's the ugliest of the designs because there's no like body costume to go with it.
Yeah.
I feel like if we could just dress up like a giant fish, that would be great. You know?
I gotta play with it a bit more, because right now I'm just like, I've been wearing a lot of like neutral stuff, like since Postmodern.
Oh yeah.
And
there's a lot of good stuff,
though. It does look dumb, like, on top of it, but I don't know what else to do with it. I gotta figure it out.
That's why I'm wearing a hockey mask, because the hockey mask doesn't look terrible. But because Team Treat is gonna be purple, I'm wearing purple shoes.
Okay.
Too. So, like, I look good. I mean, I really need a good pair of, like, neutral shoes, but I haven't found a good pair of neutral shoes I like. So...
The struggle.
Yeah, so these purple shoes are gonna do for now, at least. But I'm gonna get my practice in, and I'm gonna do my best for the 48-hour Splatfest. So...
Brian, you should splat with us. They fixed all the stuff that you hate about Splatoon.
Yeah, like, they did.
Literally.
You should get the Blob Lobber, and one of us can have the Booyah Bomb! I want the Booyah Bomb!
That shit looks dope.
It does.
I mean, to be fair, guys, like, I acknowledge the fact that they did fix a lot of the things I have complaints with, but I have an actual gaming backlog going on right now, because I'm still chipping away at Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey just came out.
Oh, yeah, we didn't pick that one up. Because we also have a gaming backlog.
So,
yeah,
like...
We'll see where you are in 2 weeks, because that's when the Splatfest is.
Yeah. You just gotta log on for, like, 48 hours. It'll be fine.
Not the whole time.
All 48 hours! We die like men!
Oh, God. Well, Tegan, then you gotta figure out how to stream on Switch, because if we're gonna be on something for 48 hours, we should at least record it.
Dude. How do you...
Yeah, right? Who knows? Figure it out later.
I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah, it's probably just capture card.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. Wow.
But Alex and I also played The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, and then immediately bought The Life is Strange 2, all the episodes. Right. Even though only episode 1 is out, like, we're gonna get all of them now.
Hey.
As they come.
Okay, that was a sound.
I'm upset!
Okay.
I'm upset! Captain Spirit's a good kid! Chris is a good kid! He's a good son! He needs a better father! Jesus! I want to take him away! I want him to take away! Take him away! Come here with the other Life is Strange children. Come here! I will adopt you all. We'll figure out your superpowers. It'll be fine. It'll be fine! I'm sad.
Love it, Tegan's on a mission.
So, have you guys gotten into Life is Strange 2's first episode yet?
No, not yet, because we did Captain Spirit, and then we were like, okay, well, we need a feel break. So, we played more Shadow of the Tomb Raider and more Dark Souls.
Did you guys ever get around to doing Life is Strange Before the Storm?
No. No, we did not. We have the collector's edition, so we have, like, the soundtrack and stuff, but we just haven't gotten around to actually popping it in.
It is a good video game.
Is it a good video game?
It is a good video game.
I remember you telling us that.
Yes.
I remember you telling us that you greatly dislike Chloe for, like, or was it Chloe? Yeah. For, like, the first 2 episodes. You're like, all she does is whine!
No, it was for the first 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah. And then you're like...
There was some really, really uneven... It didn't even last for the whole first episode. Just, like, the first 30 minutes, it's like, holy shit, and just... I don't know. Like, but... The game did such a, like, absolutely fantastic, like, 180 and really came together that, like, I am willing to excuse the writing that happens in those first 30 minutes, because it is 30 minutes. Yep. Yep.
Alrighty then.
Tegan, I see here on your list of bullet points it indicates what even are games?
Yeah, what even are games? Because, like, I haven't been playing any.
Jeez.
It's been a time. Alex has been playing a lot of Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is a lot of bad AI and weirdness. Like, it's very much like, this is a true-to-life game, but at the same time, if you run into a sign too fast, you die. And your horse will just go off into the distance without you and then teleport back.
That's probably what would actually happen, I think.
Now, Alex needs to be careful about ever criticizing that game online.
Why?
Because it is a
the good news is...
They're really good, diehard about it.
Oh, are we going to summon the hate? Please.
Probably.
I would like summon the hate because, like, this game is weird.
You will specifically summon 4chan-loving, Trumpian MRA nerds.
MRA?
Yeah.
Men's right activists.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah.
So people who'll hate me anyway. Whatever.
for some reason, that, like, group... I mean, I won't say for some reason. Like, the lead dev on that game is, like, a world-class shitbag who believes some pretty awful things.
Yeah.
They have rallied around this game, and they've kind of come to this position that, like, everything about that game, which is either, like, lacking or not great, is, like, an intentional design choice. And,
I remember that. It's so stupid.
Really?
Yep, and they're like, and if you don't like it, then you're just some kind of, like, SJW cuck.
Great.
Yeah.
Great! Well, it's good to know that I wear those labels correctly, then. Because, wow! We broke into a monastery and stole a bunch of stuff from the monks while they were asleep. And then they caught us, and so we reloaded and did it again, and again, and again, until finally we figured out, like, exactly where we needed to go to look for a book of necromancy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it was in this whatever, and then we killed the head monk, and then snuck out.
Alright.
But we were trying to take over this fortress, and literally we probably spent, like, 4 in-game weeks hiding in a bush, waiting for somebody to walk down this path, killing them, coming back, going to a different bush, watching the entire castle freak out because they found a dead body, waiting for somebody else to go down this other area, killing them, putting them in a bush, moving to a different spot. Like, it was so slow and so tedious. And the combat is, like, real clunky.
But it's realistic, Tegan.
It's clunky as fuck. If it's realistic, then if I stab somebody in the face, they should die. But they don't die if I stab them in the face. So, it's not realistic. It's just clunky. Like, some of it, yeah, I get it's realistic. Like, the grips on, like, the way that they're positioning the hands on their swords and, like, all that stuff. And, like, whatever. But if I'm stabbing someone in the face, they should die. That should be the end of that. Mm-hmm. And it's not. So, no.
So no.
So no. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just really rough in some spots. Mm-hmm. And really slow.
Rough and slow. That's my prime gaming experience. That's the hill I'm willing to die on.
Like, if you really love this game, good. I'm glad you really love this game. But there are some places where it could be improved, and I'm sure the developer is taking those into consideration for when he does his next game.
I don't think that's what's happening, Tegan.
Shh. I'm trying to be nice.
Okay, alright.
Trying to be nice. But yeah. So, like, yeah.
Alright,
Kingdom
Tegan.
Come Deliverance is whack.
It's a game. Kingdom Come Deliverance is a game.
It is a game.
There are gameplay elements. It's not a walking simulator, which is not a game.
Tegan, you're gonna choose this time to have that fight? Like
again? We're gonna have that fight all the fucking time, Brian. That was not a game.
Tegan.
Oh, guys. So I've been playing Dragon Quest XI. I hung out with a single stream monster, and we went hunting for a bunny suit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
I did get the bunny suit. There's a couple of things I had to do. I had to gather some ingredients. I needed to get a book from the casino, and I had to play in this casino. I may have developed a slight gambling problem. I asked for some help from Base God. He gave it to me. I got my coins. I got my book. I killed some monsters to get the pieces, which is bunny ears, which I had 2 of, a bunny suit, which I needed to craft, and fishnet stockings that I got from, like, killing enough of those off-brand, like, lip monsters.
Yeah. Off-brand lip monsters.
Yeah, you remember those. Like, you remember that big green-looking thing? Like,
yeah.
I had to kill the same things, but now they're purple.
Oh, okay.
And,
did they try to kiss you also?
They really did!
Did you tell them that was sexual harassment?
I did. ProTag fell for it once. Veronica did not take that shit at all. I'm so proud of her.
Good. Veronica knows sexual harassment when she sees it.
Yes. Yes. So then we put Jade in the bunny suit for the enjoyment of an old man who gave us a garter. In retrospect, it probably wasn't the best quest to do. But we got some stuff for it.
He gave you a garter?
He gave us a garter, which is just another accessory that I gave to Jade. Jade, actually, when she was in the bunny suit, she just showed up. And he's, like, really excited about it. She just, like, looks at him dejectedly, scoffs, and then leaves. Which is, you know, par for the curse.
Yeah, that's about right.
And that was most of what I did. We clipped some of it. I got really excited about winning some fake poker.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly, Rocky. 1 second. I'm going to try and find a link to that clip.
It's on our Facebook, Brian.
I didn't realize it was that easy.
And our Twitch page.
Amazing!
Well, I was going to our Twitch page. So I had that much figured out.
It was a good time. There was a point where, like, I just needed to win one more hand, and you know it's always one more hand.
Right.
With fucking poker. And, like, Atosta, the guy hanging out on stream, like, you know, pushed me to risk it all. So I did. And I asked for...
And you lost.
No, I won. Because, you know, Base God looks out for me. Even though I won't let him fuck my bitch. That's the whole deal. That's our relationship. But, I don't know, it was fun. I had a good time. I might do it again next week. Or I might play more of the story. Or I might just stick around this casino. Who knows? There's a really crazy, like, slot machine game that's in it. And, like, it's not like normal slots where, like, you just pull the lever and then, like, you get coins or you don't. Instead, there's, like, a slime that you're, like, guiding on some sort of adventure via slots. The game takes, like, 7 full-page illustrations to try to explain it to you. I didn't have the patience for it at the time. I might just do, like, a live reading of it next week and then just, like, try to play it. Because, like, I kind of want to know what this is about. I just didn't want to know what it was about last week.
I think that you have brought a new level of energy and enthusiasm to your streaming game, Rocky.
Is this where you try to hook Rocky on Hearthstone?
No, this is not. This is where I point out to Rocky that maybe it's because there was no gambling in Monster Hunter, but I don't think that he ever brought the raw, unrefined, pure joy to the stream in Monster Hunter that he did in just his simple act of winning some bullshit in, like, fake gambling land.
I might take that. That's fair. A lot of the wins that I actually got in Monster Hunter World weren't really that hard fought, except for Behemoth, I think, and, like, the first Colby Teroth, but I didn't stream either of those. And that's a mistake on my part. Like, I didn't hone in on the exciting and interesting content. I just kind of did, like, weekly, like, hunts and stuff. That's on me. I'm working on that. I'm a new streamer.
Word.
We're all learning, Rocky. It's okay.
I see here, Rocky, that you appear to have played a bad video game.
What?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
What video game are you trying to insinuate that Super Mario Party is a bad video game? Excuse you?
I'll outright say it. It's like,
excuse you?
All Mario Party games are bad video games.
No.
I mean, first of all, you're wrong. Because Mario Party is a very fun and engaging game. Like,
no.
It does, you know, require that you have friends and, like, not care a lot about winning, but...
No, it fucking doesn't. You can play it by yourself.
Well,
Nintendo will be your friends.
the AIs are usually pretty good, but they're not the best. Like, once you learn it, then, like, it's very easy to face roll them. But now you can play online, although in a limited capacity, because there's only, like, 12 minigames you can play online. But there's, like, a bunch of new modes, in addition to, like, the standard Mario Party mode. There's also a cooperative, like, raft racing adventure, where, like, 4 players play minigames while they're sailing down, or, like, rafting down a river. And there's, like, obstacles that you have to, like, navigate as a group, and that's cool. There's now, like, a straight-up 2v2 Mario Party mode, which I think is just moving all the 2v2 games out of the normal play style. Because out of the games I played last night, we didn't get any 2v2 games when we were playing the standard Mario Party. So they might have just moved those.
Wait, you didn't? Really? You got no 2v2s?
Yeah, that was the thing. I played, like... Well, we were playing 10-turn games because they run about an hour. Mm-hmm. But we played 3 10-turn games, and we didn't get a single 2v2.
Oh, I got a ton of 2v2s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played a 10-turn game. I played 2 15-turn games and 2 20-turn games. And I got a bunch of 2v2s when I was playing by myself and when I was playing with Alex.
Huh. Okay.
They also do, like, there's the new partner boards now.
Yeah.
And all those are 2v2s. Because you play with your partner.
Okay. Because I thought, I was mentioning the partner boards earlier. Like, I thought that's where they just moved 2v2 games to.
Oh, no, they're all over.
Okay. Then we probably just rolled, like, weird. That happens.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I definitely got cheesed out of some wins. Like, there was one game where I came back at the end, and I was sure that I was going to get, like, the minigame star, and then there's just no minigame star. And they gave the guy that I just passed a star for,
bullshit.
Moving the fewest amount of spaces during the game.
Oh, God, yes! That happened to me, too! Peach won! Because she moved the fewest spaces!
And I'm like, we should not be rewarding
about
this.
it! Because the game before, Luigi won for moving the most amount of spaces! And I was like, what the hell? I moved the least amount of spaces! Why don't I get a star?
So I really struggle with hearing you guys describe this and describe it being frustrating and go, yes, this is fun and good.
No,
I
like,
won.
The game
I played 6 games last night and I won 1 game. But let me tell you, Brian, that fucking win felt so good.
I feel that. That's real. It's probably the realest thing I've ever heard, Tegan. There's also, like, mini games that take advantage of both motion controls, with like the rhythm game version. Like, we play a lot of those. I already got that gem. I'm kind of disappointed because there's like 3 like difficulty settings. There's normal, there's remix, and then there's hard. But remix definitely like extends the game. But it doesn't make it particularly more difficult. It's just that like you do like 3 games like you would on normal, and then like you do the same 3 games but faster. Like, it's wild. But hard mode just gives you like a larger swath of games, and some of the games are more difficult, but it's still only 3 games. And I kind of wish that we had a hard remix mode just to make the game experience a bit longer. But it was fun. I had a good time playing with the group. And there's like this secret like Toad like hideaway where you go down one of the pipes where you can play like the stuff that we saw like at E3, like not E3, like in the demo. Mm-hmm. Like the tank game that moves across like 2 switches, and there was another one that I was trying to remember. But basically there was like tabletop games where like if you were sitting in a bar with like some Joy-Cons you could fuck around with. Mm-hmm. I didn't get to play any of those yet, but I'm gonna play some of those tonight. I'm very excited. I'm going to a second Mario Party because that's what we're doing now. We're throwing Mario parties. And I'm outside of like the limited like online play, and I still want to figure out like what happens when I get all these gems. I hope I get some really dope shit, but otherwise the game is pretty cool. I'm having a good time. I wouldn't call it a bad video game by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, I can assure you my imagination stretches that far.
But we're having fun.
Yeah.
I didn't say you couldn't have fun. I just said it was a bad video game.
But we're having fun. No
Okay,
one's getting hurt.
You know what? I'll bite. Brian, what makes Mario Party a bad video game?
There is no unified rule set by which it as a board game is governed. There is no way to, Mario Party lacks enough structure to get good at Mario Party. Because what Mario Party does is, it artificially, behind the scenes, performs all kinds of like gymnastics to like constantly rubber band the players in order to create an artificial sense of tension throughout the play experience, which is why you have people doing shit like, and then so-and-so wins for moving the least amount of spaces, and then so-and-so wins for moving the most amount of spaces. Like, it feels utterly arbitrary in every play experience, kind of like we're painting the roses red, like kind of shit. It's just, why do this? Like, one of the things that like I will argue with people about is like, whenever people say like Mario Kart is a bad video game, like, no, Mario Kart is a good video game because there is a system of rules in place which can be like easily understood and explained to like new players. Like, somebody can pick up Mario Kart and make a reasonable effort and become better at Mario Kart. And despite the fact that Mario Kart has some built-in mechanics which are designed for like playfield equalization and rubber banding, which is like mysterious speed changes of AI drivers and the blue shell most notably, there is still a possible skill curve to the player experience. This does not exist in Mario Party. There is no like single set of rules that can be conveyed to a player and be like, okay, here is how you play Mario Party and here's how you get better at Mario Party. Like, Mario Party simply exists to be a thing for a room full of people to like fuck off and waste a few hours. Now, if that's what they're in for, if that's what they want to do, then they can, and they're not hurting nobody, but it doesn't make it good.
Okay. So I fundamentally disagree that Mario Party lacks both a skill curve and a unified set of rules. I just think that its mission, specifically, which is actually to fuck off and waste a couple of hours, which arguably are what games are for in the first place, is focused more on the experience itself and not getting closer to a win condition. Like, you can get better at minigames, and you can get better at making certain decisions on the board, but as far as like converting that into like a win percentage, I don't think is like the point of like Mario Party or parties in general, actually. I think there is a way to get better at Mario Party, and it's about like learning how the boards work, learning what decisions you can make at certain junctions, especially with like now in character select where you have like character specific dice, and just learning the mini games at large. But guaranteeing yourself a win doesn't seem to be the point of Mario Party. And I think just because you can't guarantee like a positive win rate doesn't mean that you're not getting better playing the game.
I don't think that like guaranteeing a positive win rate is what like defines like the gaminess of something or even the goodness of something, because like you can like say try real hard at playing Street Fighter and still like lose 19 games out of 20. It just means that like say Street Fighter has like a very, you know, steep skill curve. I don't think there is any reasonable way for a player to self-measure whether what they're doing is meaningful. And like, you know, and one of the things you just said was like, well, that's not what the idea of like that's not the goal of parties. Well, Mario Party isn't a party. Mario Party, it purports to be like a video game board game. It happens at a party or it happens at a gathering. but it is not that party. It is not that gathering. It is a thing that happens inside of it. Just like if you were to like break out a copy of Monopoly at a gathering, the game of Monopoly is not the gathering. It is something that occurs at the gathering.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's talk about Monopoly. Monopoly is a game that, while there are decisions that you can make that experienced players will tend to make better, or that you know that there are certain things that you want and certain things that you don't, there's still a very strong luck component to Monopoly, to the point that like anyone that picks up the game could beat someone that's been playing it for 20 years, even if like they're nationally ranked or whatever.
Oh, sure. And I'm not going to sit here and like defend the quality of Monopoly. Like Monopoly was specifically cited just to talk about like the difference between an event and games that occur within and inside of an event. But like, say if I'm given the choice between like playing Mario Party, Monopoly, and Settlers of Catan, I'm going to play Settlers of Catan every time, because Settlers of Catan is an actual fun board game which has a curve that can be reasonably engaged with by new players while still providing like deep play experience years later.
Well, if those are your requirements, then like that walking simulator game is definitely not a game. Not at all. I'm never going to engage with that again. Like, it didn't leave me with a deep, meaningful experience. It was a thing that I watched. Like, it wasn't something I participated in.
And Tegan, if that's what you want to believe, that's fine.
By that logic, it wasn't a game for you either. Like, cause
No, Tegan. Like,
it was a thing that happened while you
Tegan,
watched
let me
it.
talk. Are you going to let me talk, or are you going to talk? It didn't offer me those things. It offered me something different. All Mario Party offers is suffering.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It's fun.
No, and again, you guys like it. That's fine. I'm allowed to not like it. I'm allowed to think it sucks.
But it...
I know, you're allowed to think it sucks, but you can't tell us that, like, we enjoy suffering. That's why we like Mario Party.
Okay, well, you all right, but how about, I'll just put it this way. You guys like a thing I hate intensely.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
But I'm having fun, and I hope they open up online play so that I can play with Rocky, because that'd be more fun.
And
I think we can play together, actually.
Oh, can we?
Just not like on a board. It's like the same like 5 minigame gauntlet thing.
Yeah, I want to play on a board.
Same.
I think that'd be fun. I'm sure that'll be a free update later.
God, I hope so. Oh, man. So, can we talk about these like wacky like live action video game movies that are happening?
Yes.
Like what?
Yes,
what
we
are
can.
there?
Yeah, there are a handful. This past week, Capcom announced that they're making a live action Mega Man movie. It's being written by Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman, you know, the people that made Paranormal Activity 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
But why?
Dude, I don't know. And Sherman Entertainment is producing the picture along with Masaoka. So, like, that's going to be a travesty. Like, there's no way it's not. Like, I don't understand, but that's what they're doing. That's what's happening. First off. Afterwards, well, in addition, we already know that there is a Monster Hunter movie in the works.
Yeah.
Starring Mila Jovovich.
Yep.
And it is being written and directed by her husband, Paul W.S. Anderson. And for people who don't know Jovovich and Anderson, they are responsible for the Resident Evil film series. But in addition, we have other reported cast members, which I initially believed was reported as a joke. But it turns out Tony Jaa of the On Back Action movies, T.I. and Ron Perlman are all going to be in this Monster Hunter movie. And the plot, as it stands, centers on the leader of the UN military team named Artemis, that's played by Jovovich, who is transported to another realm populated by monsters, where she meets the Hunter, who's Jaa, and teams up with 2 other people to prevent monsters from attacking Earth. That's the current plot of the Monster Hunter movie.
There better be a fucking cat in this. There better be a bipedal cat in this movie with a penchant.
Yeah. There's not a Palico, we're gonna riot.
Yeah, like I need for that to be Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman is the Palico? Dude, I'm in, actually. No, but the wackiest of the movie news that we got this week is that Konami is partnering with Greg Silverman's Stampede and his studio, Branded Entertainment, to launch a movie franchise based on, and wait for it, Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh my god.
The project will explore a world on the brink of destruction where the only hope is to unite through the universal language of dance.
Oh.
Like, these are real movies. They're being made by real people using real money. That's what's happening right now. This is the world that we live in.
Wow.
I give up.
Wow.
Like, I mean, if you had told me, like, 3 years ago that T.I. was gonna be in a Monster Hunter live-action movie, I would have never believed you. I didn't believe it, like, 3 months ago when I got the news leak. But, like, I was just like, oh, that looks ridiculous. There's no way that's true. And then we get a pre-apocalyptic Dance Dance Revolution movie series. I'm sorry. It's going to be a franchise about DDR, man. And like this fucking Mega Man movie that's obviously going to be terrible. Like there's just, I don't know what's happening, guys. But it's happening.
Video game movies are a mistake.
Video game movies are a mistake.
But what about Super Mario Brothers, the movie?
Super Mario Brothers the movie is a shining gem.
Exactly.
A shining gem on a pile of trash.
God
Someone
damn it,
did it right, and everyone thought, I could do that too, and they were wrong.
So basically, take Super Mario Brothers and the first Mortal Kombat movie, not the second, only the first. You keep those two, you throw away the rest.
Actually, the Chun-Li Street Fighter movie was pretty good. Which I think was like the second one of that series.
It definitely not the one where like Raul Julia says, "For me, it was Tuesday."
Oh no!
Tegan, have you ever seen Street Fighter the movie?
No!
Okay, all right. Don't
be on our watch along list. Actually,
don't see Street Fighter the movie. But at some point, go on YouTube. And then look up, For Me, It Was Tuesday. There you got your Bison, played by Raul Julia, God rest his soul. And he's all dressed up in his fucking ridiculous Bison outfit. And he's talking to Chun-Li. He's like, "For you, the day that Bison destroyed your village was the most important day of your life.
And for me, it was a Tuesday."
For me, it was Tuesday.
Amazing!
And I'm like, oh my.
That's a fucking good video game. That's a villain line, though. That's a good villain line. Like, this was an important day for you, and to me, it was nothing. That's that's a big mood.
But I don't
big
think,
mood.
Wasn't that? I don't remember. I have to look at it again.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, don't sit through that whole movie because it's a really bad movie, but like that line is fucking perfect. Ugh, man.
All right, so Brian, you're our brand aficionado, right?
If by aficionado means I don't trust them, then yes.
Yeah. Okay. So can you tell me what's going on with KFC Gaming?
Man, I don't even know. Like, what the fuck is this business?
For people who don't know, last, I think Saturday, the 28th of September, whatever, there was a Twitter account that has been slowly tweeting. Apparently they were loading like 7% at a time, and they released a video, and the video seemed to unveil some strange new brand called KFC Gaming. There's a lot of shooters. There's some Mugen footage in there. There's appears to be a create a character that looks like the Colonel wrestling in a WWE video game. And I'm very lost. I don't understand. And I would like to understand. I really would like to have that wisdom, please, and thank you.
Man, I am just... I'm really tired of brands being able to communicate to people with a language of trust because they use like memes and shit. People are like, I will trust this brand because they meme at me. And like, and that's like pretty much immediately what this like KFC Twitter account seems to be doing.
I feel like this is a thing. However, I should say I'm not going to call them earnest because I don't know about all that. But I do know that KFC has been trying to interact with gaming for a long time, albeit not necessarily like in the U.S. market. But we did report on that Indian story where India's KFCs were offering a chicken box with a Mountain Dew cup holder and a Bluetooth controller to attach to smartphones for like $80.
Yep.
And KFC gaming is based in UK. Well, in the UK right now. So I don't know. Like maybe they're just trying to like unify like multinational markets via gaming. Maybe chicken's not as big there. Because I don't see KFC really doing this in Japan. Because like KFC does well in Japan for completely other reasons, which is also kind of amazing. But we're not talking about that. We're not a chicken podcast.
Can we be? Is that too late?
I'm not. No, I categorically refuse to be a chicken.
You
refuse?
Podcast.
Yes.
But well, I like chicken.
Chicken is cool, Tegan, but video games are better.
Chicken tasty.
Oh man, but yeah, I followed them because I need to know what's going on, and I swear the day I know I'm out. I promise. Like you can mark your calendar or whatever. Also, Nintendo patented a smartphone case that appears to allow a touchscreen smartphone to act like a Game Boy. It folds over kind of like a case wallet, and it has like buttons that appear to interact directly with the touchscreen, and even has like a small window to like emulate the Game Boy screen. And it was patented like back in mid-March. Like I think the patent itself hit U.S. patents or cleared U.S. patents in like March 16th. But no one reported about it until this week because I guess everyone missed it. It's super weird. But it could be really cool. I would like to turn my phone into a Game Boy periodically and have it feel like fully functional. I don't know how much Nintendo would charge for it. But who knows?
I see, like, I feel like this is smart on their part because these things have already existed by the boatload, showing up on like Alibaba. And it's like people have been making clamshell cases that go around phones that look like Game Boys that, you know, just because of limitations won't work on like, say, iOS devices. Because of like iOS's ability to like inability to sideload anything, which means that getting an emulator onto an iOS phone isn't really a thing that works. But like people with like Android phones have been fucking around with Game Boy cases for years, but like a lot of them are really shitty, like just not good. And like if Nintendo wanted to get into a market where they like say sold a Game Boy clamshell for like iOS and Android and then sold those games via like maybe as individual downloads via the iOS store or Google Play Store, I'd be way down for that. You know, especially if they run well and they create a good emulator that runs on those operating systems. I hope they're going to do the legwork on that. Like, I could see there being some additional barriers just because of like the way both Google and Apple like gatekeep because they want to make sure that they get their pound of flesh for everything that gets sold. Like, I mean, I would feel like the ideal condition for these would be like put the clamshell in, open a single app that says like Game Boy, and then browse like a Game Boy store within that app. But like,
I don't think they need to make a different app for it. Because they already have the Nintendo app. Like the one that they want us to use voice chat over. And like they could just fit the store into that app. I mean, the app would definitely get bigger. It'd be a pretty sizable update. but they wouldn't have to like rebrand a new like Game Boy app.
Oh shit! I just had a thought, Rocky. What if Nintendo were to say like, hey, and if you have Nintendo Online, you now all of a sudden have access to these Game Boy games on your phone, and much like you can only buy those NES controllers for the Switch if you're a Nintendo Online customer, and also being like, and you now have the ability to buy the Game Boy phone case.
So they could pigeonhole people into getting the Nintendo Online service because they want the phone case.
Right, and it would also be kind of like a way to end run around Apple and Google, because they're not actually selling the games at all. They're included as part of an existing service. Yeah, they're like, hey, hey guys, we didn't sell these games. Like that.
I mean, that could be a good way to work around those stores, but it doesn't really provide an advantage to like the consumer at that point. Like, I agree that they would have like people who are nostalgia buyers, like buy the balls. Like, that's pretty much it. But like Nintendo Switch Online still isn't a great deal on its own anyways. Like, I sincerely believe that it will improve, but I feel like adding that on top of it would be like more gross than useful for them.
Yeah, I think that timing is everything, and I think that it's one of those things where they kind of need to independently increase the value proposition. Like, it's one of those things where, like, once the value proposition already seems more attractive, then that just feels like a feel-good, whipped cream on top. But, like, if they were to be like, hey, and you can, like, get access to maybe these 10 to 15 Game Boy games and on a phone, and if you buy this clamshell, then you can play them with, like, buttons and everything. That feels like a thing that if they did it right now, it might get some people hot. But if they did it, like, after, say, they've expanded the NES library to over, like, 100 titles and maybe added a few SNES titles, like, people would be, like, less aggravated by it. Or maybe if they made the voice chat stuff, like, more streamlined and works the same across, like, most games. That's a thing that maybe... they've got a ways to go, and I can see this being part of the way of eventually getting there. Also, I think something else that's worth pointing out, not for nothing, is that Nintendo patents things all the time and then never does anything with them.
That's true.
Yeah, like, I think everybody here remembers that, like, weird, like, football-shaped controller where there were, like, analog sticks coming out of the screen. And it's like, what is this thing? And they patent it, in multiple countries, and they never did anything with it. So they always out there. So, but I will definitely keep my eyes open.
What do you think about it, Tiggs? You want to get a Game Boy case?
With how long my phone battery lasts now, no. I'd need a new phone first.
You're still you're definitely a dedicated, like, Go player, too.
Yeah. My poor phone. The battery life sucks, but it does what it can.
Well, Tegan, I think that's probably a very good point. Is that, like, what is the average lifespan of the average user's phone? Like, how long do people own phones before they trade in phones for new phones?
Mm-hmm.
And
usually like 2 to 3 years.
Right. And there's usually some level of iteration in those 2 to 3 years. Like, whether it be, like, in the case of, like, say, going from the iPhone, like, 6S to the 7, where the device got thinner, and now, like, the phone on the back was, like, the camera on the back was now, like, a bump on the surface. Because they decrease the thickness that much. Or, like, say, losing a headphone jack. Like, there's any number of things that can, like, fundamentally change the design of a smartphone. And, like, the idea of, like, a Game Boy case being like a static design that wouldn't have to be reworked a lot. And like how long do you maintain how many possible SKUs? Because like after you're like, well, this doesn't work for, you know, the iPhone 12 or this doesn't work for the Samsung Galaxy 14. Like how long can you maintain how big a SKU set, and how long do you keep supporting old versions? I could see this thing being a thing that it gets like expensive to manage and frustrating to consumers. You know, imagine being like somebody who walks into a store and sees like 5 official Game Boy phone cases on a shelf, picks one up, takes it to the counter, buys it, gets it home, and is like, nope, this is for 2 years ago's Galaxy. Fuck me.
Mm.
Yeah.
I do not know what phone you're carrying, though.
Me?
Like, you think you would check that before you bought something.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure that the case fit.
Oh, I agree. But remember, people are stupid and stores are bad. And when you combine both of those things, I'm sure that it's possible somebody could go to a counter and just be like, I need that Game Boy case. And then the guy goes to the back to get the thing because it's locked up, and he brings it back. Also, like, Nintendo has not always been the best with, like, product naming, which clearly explains what the product is. You know, just ask all their stockholders after the release of the Wii U. Or the new Nintendo 3DS. Like, sometimes their product names aren't particularly straightforward. And so, like, if they have multiple SKUs of, like, a single Game Boy case, they first have to get over the hump of labeling them clearly. Which would be the first barrier. But, I guess we shall see. Is it news time?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so, like, Telltale fired basically everybody now.
Right. Majority studio closure.
Yeah, like, remember on September 21st when they fired 90% of their employees?
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone who's working on Minecraft was laid off on October 4th, and according to Telltale CEO Pete Hawley, they're still working on The Walking Dead.
But how are they working on it if there's no one's there?
Well, you know, really what they're trying to do is they're trying to find another studio to continue production on episodes 3 and 4, but with the Telltale employees that were working on it. You know, so they want the current employees to be hired on a contract basis to work on episodes 3 and 4. Apparently episode 3 is just waiting on ratings review before being, like, going into, like, final polishing, and episode 4 is still on the way, but, like, what does that mean when you're trying to get people hired out on contract?
That's filthy.
Yeah. But at NYC Comic-Con, which happened, you know, it happened.
Yeah.
Robert Kirkman, the writer for the Walking Dead comics that the Telltale games are based on, said, quote, "Everyone involved is trying to make sure Clementine's story is told. I'm not concerned at the moment with telling that story in the comics." So, you know.
I want to say I called it, but I didn't do so explicitly.
Once again, fuck all of these people. Your company isn't so woefully mismanaged that you run up to a point where you're like, hey, and now we have to fire everybody, that, like, you don't see it coming. Like, there has to be some executive somewhere who
knows?
Yeah, who's like...
They saw the spreadsheets and went, we fucked.
Right. I mean, there continue to be, like, really gross stories that are popping up from, like, the experiences of Telltale employees as it relates to these layoffs. The guy who was hired literally a week before and moved across the country to take a job with Telltale, and, like, a week after he started, he got laid off with everybody else after having spent his savings moving across the country, and now he's unemployed without any severance. Or, like, the fact that they didn't even finish the work on this Minecraft stuff, that they're like, yeah, we're keeping a team on to finished our contractual obligations to Netflix for the Minecraft story mode. And they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
The whole reason offered as to why those people weren't being laid off at that time was to, honor their obligations contractually to,
Netflix.
Netflix and Microsoft, and they failed to meet them. Like, so it's just like those people just worked an additional 2 weeks, and it sounds like some of them might not even have gotten paid for that time. Yeah. Oh.
Big uff.
Yeah, just fuck that. Like, it's so gross. It's so exploitative. I'm really into the idea of some kind of, like, labor union protection for, like, video games, because that shit has, like, really turned into some kind of, like, salt mines. It's so gross. Kind of a less gross big deal. Mike Morhaime stepped down. Mike Morhaime was the CEO at Blizzard. He had been at Blizzard for 27 years, and he had been, I guess, CEO for, 12? Morhaime says, after many years of working with some of the industry's most talented people to create games in a world for you to play in, I've decided it's time for someone else to lead Blizzard. I will now serve as an advisor to the company I so love and admire. It has been an honor to serve this community for over 27 years, and I thank you for your many years of support. I look forward to being a member of the community alongside you. See you on battle.net. They've already named a new Blizzard CEO, which is J. Allen Brack, and Brack is like a many-year veteran on the World of Warcraft product. They've also named a new Chief Development Officer, which is a new title to their executive team in the form of Ray Gresco. He has some like experience on Overwatch and Diablo 3. And another one of Blizzard's original co-founders, who was never really part of Blizzard's leadership in the first place, Adam, is joining the executive team in kind of like an advisory role. Mike Morhaime was like the last of the original Blizzard leadership. People had been leaving over the years. He was it. I feel like this might signal the slow Activisioning of Blizzard. I hope not.
What makes you say that?
Well, Blizzard very much had like a separate culture and community than the rest of Activision. Like so much so that like when one company bought the other, it didn't just get absorbed into Activision. It became Activision Blizzard. And they maintained like a separate reporting structure. Like it's weird that there is the idea of just like separate CEO for Blizzard and separate executive team. That, I mean, they are performing like essentially the same business functions as Activision. They are both video game companies. And it's not like they're operating in like separate legal jurisdictions, where something like that would make sense. Like, like say a Sony of Japan and Sony of America reporting structure where you need to have different leadership in place for different legal jurisdictions. Mm-hmm. This is a single legal jurisdiction and a same, operating business. This is a video game company making video games, in the US. Like, why doesn't it operate all under a single umbrella? And part of the reason for that has been like Blizzard's unique set apart culture, and a lot of their unique set apart culture had to do with like their old school leadership team. And I'm wondering with Morhaime leaving, if we'll start to see some of that like very slowly erode. I certainly hope not. But
I guess what I'm saying is that, and I do want to preface this, that I know next to nothing about Blizzard. I'm familiar with some of their properties, but not intimately. But all these people that are moving in this space, if they're not part of the old guard, they certainly don't seem like Activision people. So what I'm asking is, why do you feel like Activision might be moving in simply because Morhaime is not there?
It's not so much something that feel like is actively happening or that I think that there is signs and portent of, but it is a thing that I will remain concerned of.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I have to wonder if part of what successfully set Blizzard apart was that when the original acquisition happened, at that time, like, virtually their entire leadership structure remained intact.
Mm-hmm.
And it took, like, many, many years up until, like, just now for the last of the original Blizzard leadership structure to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I want to stress, like, I don't see evidence that, like, Activision is, like, already sharpened up the knives and is ready to send in a bunch of guys who want to turn everything into, like, terrible loot boxes and mistreat their employees, but I'll fret about it, Rocky.
Okay.
I may be fretting about it needlessly, but I'll fret about it. I hope that Blizzard stays Blizzard, because right now, Blizzard is a company which generally puts out a strong product and does really good by their customers and does really good by their employees, which in this industry is remarkably fucking rare. If anything, I would wish that Blizzard's culture would bleed into the rest of Activision.
But Activision still has Call of Duty.
Which they will run into the ground.
Yeah, probably, honestly.
Activision's history is having an incredible product, which is like a global market changer, and then they run it into the ground. Like, that is Activision's history. Like, y'all remember Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
There was a time when everybody had them plastic instruments, and they were selling the DLC song packs like hand over fist, and the amount of money on all of their earnings reports from Guitar Hero was just absolutely sick. But they ran it into the ground. Y'all remember Tony Hawk?
Oh yeah, they did have Tony Hawk.
Yes, they did. Which they proceeded to run into the ground. Activision's history is to, like, oversaturate a market and mistreat an audience until they just fail to take any responsibility for the market response themselves. They're like, well, it's obvious that people are no longer interested in guitar games or skateboards. And it's like, no, people would like to play both of those. It's just you
did a beard.
Yeah, you put out too many shitty guitar games, you put out too many shitty skateboard games, and now people don't really trust you, so why should they? They don't want to just, like, pay a $60 existence tax once a year and be like, well, I guess I have to go buy this year's guitar game.
That's pretty much it. Activision feels like they're in the entertainment tax business.
Yep. And that's something which, like, Blizzard doesn't really do. Their games are designed to be supported for, like, long lifespans. And, like, all of the biggest Blizzard games right now are games that have been out for several years and have thriving communities. Like, Overwatch is what, like, at this point, like 2.5 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, like, thriving community.
And they're esports now.
Yeah, like, Hearthstone is, like, I think pushing, 4 years old. Diablo 3 is, I think, old enough to buy beer. World of Warcraft is, like, over 10 years old. They support their games, like, really well and give them long lifespans and listen to community feedback. And it's not this model of, like, $60 annual fuck you tax like Call of Duty is, where it's like, we realize that what you just want to do is, like, smoke weed, eat pizza, and play Call of Duty with your bros. We would just ask that you do that with a new Call of Duty once a year. It's like a kind of a shitty thing, because at some point, like, I feel like if Call of Duty were a Blizzard property, they would have realized that, like, Call of Duty would be more effective as, like, a platform than as an annualized series.
Mm-hmm.
And might do fun stuff and be like, okay, like, and now the Space Pack, which you can, like, buy for Call of Duty. And Call of Duty itself is free, and you're just buying the packs that you're interested in. And I think that there is probably a really cool future for Call of Duty where it is being run as an ethically managed free-to-play game. I just don't think that, like, Activision has the courage or foresight to do that. My fingers are crossed. I hope that Blizzard does not get Activisioned. I will definitely... Because there was some other news that came out a day after this about Blizzard that got me real worried. I'm also glad I checked up in on that story before we went to record this morning, because it turned out that, like, some people jumped the gun on their reporting.
Dun dun dun.
I think that people wanted Mike Morhaime leaving to immediately spell bad news. Like, Mike Morhaime is no longer CEO. Immediately Activision starts drowning babies, that kind of thing.
Please don't drown babies. Babies have done nothing wrong.
True.
There was some reporting that came out like a day after Morhaime announced that he was stepping down that said that Blizzard was suspending their employee bonus plan. That turned out to be inaccurate. What it turned out to be was that instead of like creating this lump sum payment that would like drop in December for Blizzard employees, where it's like, you know, like, here's your end of year holiday bonus. The end of year holiday bonus was 10% of your annual salary. What they did was they took that money and rolled it out to every employee as a pay increase. Everybody got essentially a 10% raise. So instead of getting a single lump sum payment in December, you know, equal to 10% of their salary, now they just get paid 10% more.
Is that effective immediately?
Yeah.
Okay, because that sounds like they're getting shortchanged out of like 70% of their bonus.
It's
at least this year. It's definitely better for the future, like overall. I definitely get that. But if they got a 10% raise.
Oh, you know what, Rocky? I don't think that it is necessarily effective immediately. I think that this is something which has got reported late and had already had wheels in motion, because Blizzard actually released a clarifying statement on this. They said in December of 2017, Blizzard transitioned 100% of the holiday bonus into the base salary of employees. So this transition happened at the end of last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So they got their holiday bonus last year because 2017 was the last year with the holiday bonus. And then at the end of the year, they transitioned into the payroll increase.
Okay.
But this story came out the day after Morhaime stepped down, and like everybody ran with it before doing any kind of like fact checking or corroborating.
So it's just to like smear like Blizzard the day after Morhaime leaves?
Yeah. And I'm like,
okay.
This feels dirty because like Blizzard like responded to like every media outlet request for clarification on this. Like, no, this is not what's happening. Here's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody has their money and they have access to, I guess, just more money throughout the rest of the year, which I think is a good thing.
Okay. That might sound like, if it came through the right channel, like a sweep from Activision or some potential like buyer that wants to devalue the company. That could make sense.
Activision doesn't have interest in devaluing them because, I mean, whether or not they're operating as two separate companies, they are a single stock. It is a single publicly traded entity.
Right,
so you heard Blizzard, you heard Activision.
But Activision devaluing like Blizzard, albeit temporarily, actually based off of lies, would make it easier for them to move personnel around. Like, you guys aren't running it right.
Okay, so as a strategic plan to weaken leadership, to be like, hey guys, what the fuck are you doing over there?
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that. That seems evil. That seems appropriately Machiavellian.
Also, Machiavelli wrote it as a joke. I hate that word. It's okay. It's fine. Well, not as a joke. It's a bit more complicated than that, but whatever. I have feelings about Machiavelli.
Like, he's still alive, yo.
What? Are you talking about Tupac?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard about that. He might be, and that would explain some things, but not a lot. Definitely
there was some Tupac's alive news this week.
Huh?
Tupac alive. Let's see here.
In, like, Malaysia?
Yes, Tupac alive in Malaysia, according to Suge Knight's son.
Yeah, but whatever. Like, Suge Knight's son isn't a reliable source, and he's only one source. It's gossip. Like, it's noise. Bring me a photo and, like, with birthmarks or something. Give me a fucking DNA test. Otherwise, like, shut up, Suge Knight's son. Just trying to piss people off because your dad's going to jail. Like, shit.
And Suge Knight's finally going to jail for real.
Yeah.
Not like previous forays into jail for Suge Knight. This is that real deal Holyfield. Like, Suge Knight is going to jail.
Yeah, and
he murdered a man with a car.
Well, he only got caught for manslaughter for some fucking reason. But
what?
Yeah, Suge Knight, who is famous for purportedly arranging for Tupac's death and literally injecting Eazy-E with like AIDS so that he would die later, has been convicted of manslaughter for assaulting a man with a motor vehicle.
Assaulting a man with a motor vehicle is the nicest way I've ever heard of saying hitting someone with his car.
Yeah. I'm not here to defend Suge Knight. I'm just trying to stay calm. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to scream about Suge Knight on this podcast. It's not a thing I want to do.
I gotcha.
But he got double-digit years. I think it's something like 25 or 28.
28 years.
Yeah, okay. It's 28. Suge Knight is almost definitely going to die in jail if someone doesn't kill him while he's in jail. Because, you know, he is likely responsible for the deaths of Tupac and Eazy-E. But, you know, we're not sure. There's still, like, conspiracies about, like, Tupac being a, like, FBI hit, which I can't entirely discount. Or even the fact that he was alive at some point in Cuba and now apparently in Malaysia, according to Suge Knight's son. Like, he's trying to trade for deals, you know? Like, it's just bullshit. Man, hip-hop was fucked up. Hip-hop was fucked up. It's getting better. The people are getting better. That's a whole other thing. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about this news that we got from Google. They posted on their official blog that Project Stream, a new plan to stream video games, has been launched. Beginning October 5th, Google has partnered with Ubisoft to stream their newest AAA game, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, via a Chrome browser to a laptop or a desktop. Project Stream is a service that is geared towards home internet connections capable of 25 megabits per second, and you must be 17 years or older and live in the US to participate in the beta. You can sign up on their website, projectstream.google.com. Generally, streaming games on this scale requires more power and precision than, say, streaming movies or even shows like on Netflix and Hulu, because things like buffering, delay, and lag can completely ruin a gameplay experience, while like in streaming video, it's, you know, a mild annoyance. But, you know, if Google figures this out, it could affect gaming in a big way by softening hardware requirements for playing on PC. And that would make it accessible to a lot more people because you wouldn't have to spend $600, $800 to just play games on PC reliably.
I am fascinated by this, and this is one of the stories in the industry this week that I found the most interesting. When there started to be rumors about this earlier this year, we reported on it.
Project Yeti, yeah.
Google did mention, when somebody asked about this, like, hey, you know, wasn't there a hardware component, you know, as part of your streaming plans? And they did mention, like, oh, there's still a hardware component, but we're just not ready to talk about it. I can't help but wonder if at some point we're going to see like a Google box that is going to come out. If there is a company out there which has the infrastructure and existing teams in place to solve game streaming, there's, I think, only really two companies that have existing tools with the existing skill sets to solve that problem.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is Google.
The problems for game streaming outside of like highly connected countries in Asia are huge. Like, anybody could stream a game in Japan, anybody could stream a game in South Korea because of the, you know, what the internet infrastructure looks like in those countries. But then when you start like being like, okay, let's stream a game in Ireland, let's stream a game in Mexico, like, then you start to run into like gigantic challenges. But Google or Microsoft could conceivably solve those challenges.
Ironically, there is another beta running for a similar service offered by NVIDIA. I believe it's called NVIDIA GeForce Now. And it actually has a slightly lower requirement for their beta. They're only asking for 15 megabits per second. 25 still sounds safer. But if you can't meet that requirement, maybe check out the NVIDIA one. Let us know how it works out for you.
The biggest thing that I am concerned about with a future where streamed games are a big part of the marketplace is I think that will fundamentally change the kind of games that get developed on the reg. If you're in a marketplace where, like, say, 60% of your total customers are purchasing stream boxes to play their games, and, like, maybe only 40% are buying, like, full hardware solutions where they're, like, running the game locally, then games which demand highly complex, frame-specific inputs become things that most of your potential customer base cannot play. Because you need to, in any kind of streaming solution, account for connectivity loss, account for buffering, account for lag, like, which means that, like, you might get to a place where you can play, say, a robust single-player experience like Assassin's Creed Odyssey well, and then you start to run into problems with, like, shooters. Like, we definitely know that there was some real problems with Splatoon 2 for, like, the first several months around, like, ping rate and people doing stuff like shooting around corners because of how quickly, like, client side was talking to server side and stuff. But stuff like fighting games, managing everything server side, seems like it could get real rough.
Yeah, that's something that I want to touch on in our discussion topic later. Because I do know that fighting games won't do well. Or, actually, like, competitive games, like, at large probably won't do well in full streaming environments. Even things like MOBAs and, like, shooters probably won't do well in a stream space.
Yeah.
But I also know that those communities, with the exception of maybe Overwatch, but Overwatch is still niche in and of itself, are more reliant on, like, community-based gameplay in the first place. So they might actually just, like, migrate to more physical community-based gameplay experiences, and hopefully developers will respond to that. I don't know what that'll mean to things like Call of Duty or like Fortnite, which are mostly, like, disjointed, large-scale cultural experiences. But for, like, more community-based, competitive gameplay experiences, they might turn into something else.
I can see, like, stream-based gaming causing some genres which might not have been big parts of the marketplace becoming larger parts of the marketplace. Something like a Walking Dead or a Life is Strange, like, an adventure game which is, like, largely choice-driven, which features a lot of walking around, wouldn't really suffer much in an environment where a developer needs to account for, like, buffering or lag. Or a game, say Mario Party, where you're doing maybe, like, a bunch of, like, say, repeated inputs, which aren't necessarily frame specific, like, oh, I've got to make Waluigi ride this tricycle. And I do it by doing, like, say, like, this sequence of, like, button presses over and over and over again. Not like a single long, complex frame-specific series of button presses. So if all the game needs to do is, like, say, collect, 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 of your button inputs, and that user experience doesn't feel any different to you, the player, because it was able to capture that 7 out of 10 inputs or 8 out of 10 inputs, you're like, well, okay, Waluigi is riding the tricycle. Cool. So I think, like, party games, adventure games, these are things that could probably see, like, a boom in a streaming environment. I am curious if, like, a way that, like, fighting game developers might try and solve the streaming problem is by releasing more stuff like Fantasy Strike. Stuff where the inputs have been significantly simplified in an effort to mean that folks aren't trying to, like, nail incredibly complex inputs in narrow windows, so that way it'll work over streaming. Like, I will be curious to see, like, how this ultimately impacts game development.
All right.
Yeah. What do you think, Tegan?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know personally. I'm not into streaming tech. I don't watch streaming. This isn't my bag. Like, at all. Like, I think it could affect streaming, but I would have no idea as to how. So.
Well, Tegan, what is your bag?
Nintendo! Nintendo's my bag.
What's going on with Nintendo? What's
Oh,
happening?
Apparently there's going to be a second generation Switch coming out in 2019. Is anybody surprised? I'm not surprised.
I mean, it feels fast to me.
Not with how the 3DS was, I don't feel. You know?
That's true. If you think of it as a portable, that makes more sense.
It feels like about right for me. It might come as early as summer, but it's all speculation. It's likely that the new Switch is gonna have an updated screen, some higher specs, you know, basically what they did with the 3DS, but like, there's nothing solid. They're not really saying anything about it.
I want them to fix the Love Joy-Con thing.
I think this checks out, Rocky. I mean, if we think about the lifespan of the PS4 and the Xbox One, both of those iterated mid-life cycle with the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. So mid-cycle updates for home consoles are no longer things which are like weird and off-putting and that customers don't understand. They've been through that before. So just as long as Nintendo doesn't like fuck up the naming for this thing, then I think they'll be fine.
I don't feel like it's even gonna be... I don't feel like this is mid-cycle. I think this is just like, we've launched this thing, we've learned some stuff, here's an updated Switch.
Right. Like, because it's been 2 years. Like, Xbox One X, didn't that come out like
4 years into the cycle?
Yeah, like 4 years into the cycle. And like, PS4 Pro, I think, was something closer to 5. Like...
No, that one came out first. That one was like 3 years in.
It was 3?
Yeah, it was Xbox who waited an extra year.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I think maybe if they just update the SKU, that'd be cool. Like if you just go into a store and you're like, I'll buy a Switch. And like, they just at some point update the SKU. Now like, that means it's unlikely to have like, say, you know, any more memory or a better processor. Because then that would mean that you're forking your development and meaning like, well, now there's going to be games that will run better on some Switches than another. But I could definitely see something like a better screen.
Right, and I could see them maybe, like, updating the SKU, but also marketing, like, maybe more memory inside, so you don't necessarily need the micro SD card right away if you're playing, like, NBA or whatever. And that, it would just be, like, in the SKU system, it would just have the amount of memory in parentheses. That's it. It's still a Nintendo Switch. Just how much memory do you want on it?
I could definitely see that. I could see, like, 3 big bullet points that you could do without necessarily forking your community, which would be better screen, more onboard space, and better battery.
Yeah. But that's, like, I don't think this is anything to, like, sweat over, you know?
Oh, I definitely don't think it's a sweating thing. And I saw some people who were, like, gnashing teeth and rending garments and going, oh, Nintendo-doomed. And I'm like, oh, you idiots. Like, no, this is not Nintendo-doomed. Like, iterating hardware is part of the business now for like every major company, and there's a couple different kinds of hardware iteration. There's the natural hardware iteration that just comes from like you make a product long enough and you figure out how to make it better and cheaper. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of like a silent iteration where like we've been making PlayStations for 5 years, which means that we can now make them so much more cheaply than we did when we started making them. And then there's like more of a loud iteration where you like announce to your community like the changes that you're making to it. And because Nintendo isn't talking about this, we still don't know what kind of iteration this is. I mean, one of the things which is certainly possible is that because Apple has like relaxed their needs on Foxconn, this could be more of a silent style iteration where like they are able just to acquire existing parts for cheaper. Like, it could very well be that, like, what this actually is they can get all of their existing parts for cheaper, which means that they can just do a price cut on the existing design. Because they're building them cheaper, because Apple needs less guts. So, like, I'm curious to see how it'll manifest.
Right. I'm not worried about it. Like, I'm like, you know. It's not like it's, like, the 3DS and then the 2DS and then the new 3DS, like... It's just like Switch 1.0, Switch 2.0. Still gonna be a Switch. All your games are still gonna work. Whatever.
I'd really like all my games to still work.
Yeah,
so I feel like a
major update to Switch is gonna be in another 2 years. Maybe 3.
That kind of has me shook, Tegan.
Well, I mean, I don't know what kind of major update it'll be, but like, I feel like that's a little bit further out than this, you know? But also, time moves at an extremely fast rate when you're old and stressed. So who knows?
All right,
wait, was that about me?
No, that was about me. That was about me entirely. It's already October and I gotta start buying Christmas presents and my sister's expecting and time moves very fast when you become old.
Wait, did we know on this program that Tegan's sister, the haver of the, I think, double fake scam wedding, was expecting?
No, I just found out last week via text. So
that's cool, I guess.
But she's had her first appointment and it's confirmed a thing, so yeah.
Right. Good for her. Yes.
Yep. She texted me about it and I said, "That's exciting," because I didn't know what else to say. It's exciting for you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be wine aunt, I think. I'm gonna travel and play video games and show up with great gifts and leave.
Gang. What about it? So something else that I'm also about, Steam, the video game marketplace, which is the Wild West as far as releases go, made some changes a couple months ago. We talked about it. Gabe, gotta have my Knives Newell, decided to open the floodgates for releases. And I'm not going to summarize it. I'm just going to give you guys this quote that came from Valve.
Okay.
They said, "We've decided that the right approach is to allow everything onto the Steam store, except for things that we decide are illegal or straight up trolling," said Eric Johnson of Valve Software. Taking this approach allows us to focus less on trying to police what should be on Steam and more on building those tools to give people control over what kinds of content they see. This change came with some of those tools, including a filtering system to keep porn games from people who don't want to see them. However, just because they've been letting games onto Steam doesn't mean they get to stay. Steam appears to be actually curating their storefront, removing more games than usual to a total of 179 in the past few weeks, as compared to, 20 to capping out maybe 70 per week. Some of the titles that they have removed include Make Border Great Again, Big Dick, 69.
Wait, what?
MILF, what?
Hold the goddamn phone.
No, I'm getting through this list. Wait a second, Brian.
Oh, Jesus.
There was MILF, Hentai, Hentai Exposed, Hentai Sisters, Putin, Trump, and Xi Jinping, Putin, Boobs, and Trump, and 31 different games with some variation on the title, Achievement Hunter. The banned games seem to include games that are, quote, trying to rile people up with barely functional games, trying to scam people out of Steam inventory items, attempting to make money off of, quote, schemes that revolve around how we let developers use Steam keys, and, of course, the classic trying to incite and sow discord. The platform has moved away from its former policy of banning games as on a case-by-case basis as well. In a blog post, Valve said, "A trend we're seeing is that we often ban these people from Steam altogether instead of cherry-picking through their individual game submissions." So, looks like they're starting to do the work, even if they, flood us with porn games for a couple of weeks. Good. Brian, you had a concern.
Well, it does have something to do with Big Dick, but, So, I had to, upon hearing this news, immediately go to Steam and double check to make sure that our favorite game, Applesnake,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see if it was still available.
Uh-huh.
And I have some news, guys.
Is it
What's
not
up?
available?
Rip Applesnake.
No!
Got him.
Oh, I'm disappointed. I mean, I'm thrilled, but I'm also disappointed.
What about Applesnake 2? And like
Applesnake 2 is gone.
And the Applesnake Christmas edition?
Applesnake Christmas edition is gone.
Oh, man. They were not kidding. Wow.
Now, this does not mean that that Steam is a safe place, because I can tell you that like I'm just gonna put some words into the Steam search box. Okay, come with me on this journey.
Okay.
I'm gonna first type
Buckled
the
in.
word cuck. Let's see what happens. Oh, we've got a game here. It's called Neckbeard's Silly Squadron, and it appears to be kind of a alt-risey game for lulz. Now let's type the word Trump. Let's see what we get. Lock her up. The Trump supremacy. Putin run away from Trump. Trump Simulator 2017. Disco Zombie Rampage 2 with DJ Trump. Super POTUS Trump. The Last Hope, Trump versus Mafia, North Korea. Let's try another word. Give me a word, guys. Hit me. Hit me with something which is going to produce questionable content.
Banana.
Do you have a more questionable word, Tegan?
Aw, no, I'm a pure being.
Rocky, hit me with a questionable word.
Hentai.
Just straight up hentai.
Yeah, let's just do it. Come on.
We're going right for the jugular.
Actually, no. I take my tentacle. Fuck.
I take my
I
tentacle.
meant to say I take back hentai, use tentacle, but I said something else. You know what? It's fine. Whatever.
I take my tentacle. Now all I can think is like I take my potato chip and eat it. But tentacles.
But tentacles. But with tentacles.
Oh,
It's a tentacle
I take
reaching
my
for a single
tentacle
potato chip.
and oh,
Brian, can you find us a
boy.
thumbnail
Okay.
with a tentacle reaching for a potato chip?
Brian, can you find us? Can you look up tentacle in the Steam search?
Yeah, please do that first.
Did that. I wouldn't say there's anything really... wait, what's this? I don't think there's anything, like, really... especially egregious when you search for tentacle. Wait a minute. Maybe there is. Alright, give me another one, Rocky. Let's assume that tentacle is too hard. Give me another one.
Tentacle is too hard, Brian says.
Alright, I'm just type boner. We're gonna see what happens.
No.
Apparently when you type boner into Steam, you get Orange is the New Black Season 3.
Yo, that's amazing.
Oh god.
That's legitimately
Good job.
incredible.
Good job, Steam.
Oh man. Just Brian, just Google like North Korea. Don't Google it. Just Steam search North Korea.
Okay. Oh, and there's a reason why apparently that boner thing happened.
Oh.
Which is that apparently episode 3 of Orange is the New Black Season 3, which is available for purchase on Steam, the title of episode 3 is Empathy is a Boner Killer, so that's why that happened.
Empathy is a boner killer. That's why boys don't exhibit it very often.
We're just trying to protect our boners, Tegan.
Just gonna get mad. I'm just gonna get mad about it. It's been a rough week. Not having it.
North Korea, okay. Oh yeah, here we go.
We did it.
Kimulator, Fight for Your Destiny.
Shit.
The Last Hope, Trump versus Mafia. North Korea. My Little Bomb. Way of Defector. Great Esports Manager. Great Esports Manager appears to be a picture of like Kim Jong-un. It's like manage a house of esport gamers by training the strong and pruning the weak, then go to head with North Korea, the greatest gaming nation in history.
Shit. Oh, Brian, that reminds me. You need to play Bomb Chicken. That should be on your backlog.
All right. But I guess speaking of Steam, 90 games came out yesterday. And 3 games have come out today.
Okay.
Okay.
Including Emitters Demo. Emitters is a single or co-op FPS survival drone invasions game. Welcome to Emitters, a single or co-op FPS survival drone invasions game where you are stuck in an abstract and futuristic world. Worst of all, deadly machines were deployed throughout multiple levels you have to go through, with a single intent of shooting you dead. At least this isn't assets from the Unity store. This appears to be assets from the Unreal store. Then we have Drunk Puppet for $2.99. Oh, wow, this just makes me angry. Drunk Puppet is the most realistic walking simulator you'll be playing this year. Keep calm because you are waiting for insurmountable difficulties such as careless drivers and inexplicable inability to step on cracks on the sidewalk. You will laugh, you will cry.
Will I?
That sounds like a game that could be played via stream.
It is $2.99. This appears to be like QWOP.
For a second, I thought you were saying co-op really strangely, and then I remembered that QWOP was a thing.
Yep.
Right. So this appears to be QWOP with some pre-built asset characters. It is $2.99.
So I want you to pay for QWOP. People who don't know what QWOP is, it is a walking simulator where you have to individually control like various muscles in the legs, which makes walking incredibly difficult. People played this game on like Newgrounds, and it was free back then. Mostly people played it for a lark, but apparently this guy wants you to pay for it.
And last we have Can You Find It for 89 cents. It is a funny hidden object game for kids and adults in which you have to find specific objects among many others. Keen eyes needed while the difficulty slightly increases from level to level.
Hey,
to keep you entertained and improve your abilities. Have fun.
Hey, Brian. What's that graphic card requirement looking like?
Nothing egregious. Yeah, there's nothing weird there. Well, man, guys, I think that's been a show.
Dude, we got mail.
Oh, wait, we have mail?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, we have mail.
You forgot we had mail?
He forgot we had mail.
Oh, my God, we've got multiple pieces of mail.
Yep. We have some mail from the Twitter from Jojo F's, Joe Spiro. Not Jojo Spiro, but Joe Spiro. He was on the show last week. He wanted to know what games with OSTs, and I think he meant to say so good, you wish the game was good, or that you had played it at all. So, like, OSTs from games that you like that you didn't exactly play. OST is a acronym for original soundtracks.
Sure.
The Persona 4 soundtrack. I love the Persona 4 soundtrack. I love it so much, and I've never played a Persona game.
P4 is actually really
good.
But
I love the Persona. Yeah.
I actually feel that way about P3.
It's a real good bop. Yeah, the P3 games, that one's good too.
But, like, the P3, like, gameplay seems like it really is painful to play through because, like, it's kind of like a standard RPG, but for story reasons, you can actually only control the protagonist. Like, kind of like the way I was playing Dragon Quest XI earlier, where I'm just controlling the protag and everyone else is on autopilot. But you don't get that choice in Persona 3. That's just how the game works. But Persona 3 is also, like, crazy tough to the point where, like, you'll get to various points of the game where it's just, like, you can't strat your way through this. You need to go back and grind. And, like, I don't want to put myself through that, but Persona 3's music is fantastic.
The Persona 3, the Dancing All Night game. I'm bad at dance games, but, like, that's also got some excellent music. The Persona series has some excellent music, and I've never played any of it.
Actually, I got into Earthbound because of OC remixes that I heard from Earthbound tracks. And I really wanted to sit down and play it, and I did, but I got, like, I think I got up to, like, the pyramids, and I cleared that dungeon, and I put it down for a couple months, And when I picked it back up again, like, I was just completely confused and lost. Like, the Golden Sun problem, honestly. And I couldn't get back into it, and I didn't want to use a guide. So I was just being stubborn about it. But I never actually finished Earthbound, but I got into it because of the music, and I still appreciate it. Like, it's still, like, on a lot of the playlists that I listen to regularly.
Oh, along that line, can we put the Undertale remixes in there?
Oh, true.
Because the Undertale remixes are great, but I still have not played Undertale yet.
It's a good game, Tegan.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard it's a great game, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Like, Undertale, like, I played through it, but even after playing it, and I still really appreciate the experience, it never really felt urgent to me. Like, I totally understand putting it off.
One that immediately crops to mind for me is Crypto the Necrodancer.
Oh, you didn't play that with us. That's right.
Yeah, I've never played Crypto the Necrodancer, but the soundtrack for that game is, like, incredible hot fire.
True. Let's get it. Let's wrap over our Crypto the Necrodancer beats, man. Let's just make a mixtape. Let's go.
Oh, man. So I think that's probably the big one for me. I could probably think of some more. There's definitely, like, a lot of, like, older stuff, like some, like, chiptune stuff where, like, there are, like, let's be real, guys. There are a lot of shitty NES and Genesis games out there.
Yeah.
But, like, especially with, like, the Genesis, which had, like, such an interesting, like, sound chip in it, like, you can get some really cool, weird sounds out of a Genesis. So, like, there's lots of, like, bad Genesis games with, like, really good music. But, like, for me, I think that, like, the biggest one is just Necrodancer, because it just feels like a kind of a gap, because I'm always kind of, you know, nervous, touchy around rhythm games. And it's like, oh god, it's a rhythm roguelike.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be murdered constantly by this game.
Well, yeah, that happens, man.
Let's see here. I feel that my cat's probably going to rate Joe's mail. One sits on the arm of the couch, like she's piloting the couch. And that's going to be Go-Go.
Oh, I love that.
And then,
I love it when they do that.
Yep. And then the other one is going to be, Toshira's going to rate it sitting on the ottoman staring at Beth in judgment. Yeah.
Toshira's a judgy boy.
He is.
Roman is going to glare from his preferred seat because he's going to glare from his preferred seat that he only takes when you're in his spot. Thank you very much. And Nico's gonna curl up in your lap and then immediately flip over so that you only see, like, the underside of his chin and his nose.
Okay. We have more mail, apparently.
Yeah. Roger Bosiaga from Facebook writes, "Hello there, Impossible Coin. I have a topic discussion suggestion. What is the future of game purchases? Do you think downloads are the wave of the future, or do you think enough people will demand physical media? Do you think major retailers like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, etc. will refuse to sell consoles if manufacturers will no longer support retail games?"
I think that we will eventually get to a place where most game sales are digital, but I don't think that global internet infrastructure is yet in a place to make that like a near term, a near term reality. Back to our, like, hypothetical gamers in Ireland and Mexico that we were talking about earlier, with the streaming game, those same guys downloading a game might have a problem too. Also, in locations which have strictly enforced data caps or per dollar overage fees for data caps, that's also a thing which would, like, throttle game purchasing by people. Like, if you're like, well, I want to buy 4 games this month, but this one's 80 gigs, this one's 80 gigs, and this one's 100 gigs, because games are getting bigger now, especially with, like, 4K assets, then if you have an internet plan, which is like 250 gigs a month, then that fucks you and you're really not doing anything else with your internet that whole month. So we have to see internet get more reliable and we have to see data get cheaper, which are both things that will happen, but it might take a minute. I guess whenever that happens, I don't think that major retailers, are going to, lock out, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. I mean, those are all companies that are more than happy to like sell, physical PCs, despite the fact that like they have very little, entryway into the PC games, sales market. Like you're not really going into Walmart to buy Assassin's Creed Odyssey for PC. You're going on Steam and buying it.
But there are a couple of things that are changing. Like, I mean, all the major publishers, developers, like Sony, Microsoft, or console holders, what I should say, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo all have eShop presences, and most games require download on install anyway. And in addition, like with Microsoft leaning on Microsoft Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass, they may have a much smaller need for physical media in the future.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just because it won't go away doesn't mean that it won't get smaller. Like, I do see a place where, like, a majority of customers in countries with reliable internet who are buying physical media are doing so for one of two reasons. One, as an economic consideration because of the ability to resell games. Like, if you purchase a game, you're then able to recover some of that cost depending on how quickly you resell it. So, like, people who might not necessarily be able to play a lot of games are able to convert games that they've played into cheaper games in the future. So, like, and that doesn't really exist outside of the EU for digital games, where, like, by law, owners of digital products in the EU have to have an ability to resell them. But I think that, like, if that kind of, like, if that kind of protection ever becomes global, then people who might be buying physical as an economic consideration might think about digital, just for, like, the same kind of, like, reasons that other people would think about digital, like space considerations, less clutter, they want to be able to just sit down and play whatever they want. But if they're able to, have those same kind of, like, protections physically, I think the other reason that people would still be hunting for physical games, even with, better internet out there, is probably collector's interest. Like, if there's a game that you really love, then you're like, okay, I want to own this thing as a totem of my enjoyment. I like this thing, so I want a copy.
But, like, with the collector population, let's say digital resale becomes the future.
Sure.
For all intents and purposes, outside of doing the actual work, I don't see a real barrier for that to happen in the future. And if that becomes the case, would collectors, people who want the totem, be a large enough or powerful enough population to make physical media a worthwhile investment for developers?
I think so. Like, there has been, especially in the last 2 years, this growing marketplace, amongst publishers for niche, high-end collector's edition releases. And there have been game publishers who have gone to developers and been like, we want to publish your game as a physical good, that have really thrived and succeeded. Like, limited run games pops to mind, like, right, immediately. Like, they go to somebody who's previously published a game only digitally and been like, hey, why don't we all get rich? like right now up on Limited Run Games is Golf Story for the Switch, which they are like selling for like $29.99 a pop for like a game that was like $15 digitally. But they also have like an $80 collector's edition that includes like Golf Story physical game, full color booklet, 11x17 poster, replica of the game's Well-Worn Grove trophy,
Nice.
Well-Worn Grove golf ball and tee set, Tidy Park membership card, windowed box to proudly display the trophy, and then also to boot, they're also selling Golf.
Which is the fake golf game inside of it, which is actually a shot at Iwata, but you know, it's probably deserved at that point. I played golf.
Golf is, and they're selling that on like a functioning NES cartridge.
Oh,
so you
fuck.
just, yeah. Yeah. So like, there's a, and they are sold out of copies of Golf.
I believe it.
Yeah. And there's like people who bought 2 copies because the Golf cartridges either came in golf ball white or grass green.
Shit.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
So like, yeah, absolutely they know what they're doing. You know, they had like these fucking like $192 Golf Story bundles where it was like, get like just a copy of the game, get the collector's edition, get Golf, and then like get some other stuff. And it was just like they sold out of these like fucking $200 Golf Story bundles for a $15 digital game. And I think that might look more like what the future of physical releases are, which is that like for the games you are really passionate about, for the games that you really love, for the games that you have an emotional connection to, those will be the games that you'll buy physically because you want to like hold something in your hand and like be like, okay, this is a thing that I love. And then for like the stuff that's just kind of like, I guess, part of like your regular routine as a gamer, those will be the games that you'll buy digitally. Okay. And probably for those games,
somehow you made it all the way to that point without once mentioning historical archiving.
Yeah, actually.
Oh my God, Tegan, I dropped the ball and shit the bed and I'm a bad person.
No, dude, you're okay the whole time. It's fine.
That was great. I was just surprised that your first reason wasn't historical archiving.
No, God, that should be the first reason. Jesus.
I don't know, man. Like that still sounds like a tertiary reason to me, but I understand where you're coming from.
No, like game preservation is incredibly important.
There it is.
Like it's, I mean, I know I've mentioned it before on the show, but like 90% of the silent films that were ever produced are lost. Like they're just gone now. Like that pales in comparison to like the amount of like lost novels and lost writing to history. So like preservation of art is important because it is a reflection of the culture that created it. So that kind of gets, I mean, fortunately a lot of these, like smaller publishers like Limited Run focus on preservation as part of their objectives, which is why they might wait a year or more before they'll ever even put the game out, and not release simultaneously with the digital edition, because essentially they're waiting for the developer to finish all patches ever for the game. Like, no more patches for this game because we want what goes onto the disc or what goes onto the cartridge to reflect all possible patches, because it needs to work in a world where this console can never talk to a server run by the platform holder. You know, like in 25 years, when somebody wants to play Golf Story for Switch, there will not be a working Switch store in 25 years. There just won't. But because they waited a year to put out Golf Story reflects all patches, which means that if someone is able to track down one of these cartridges, then Golf Story is a thing that can be played and preserved. So yes, absolutely, Tegan. Preservation. Jesus fuck. God damn it. Guys.
I personally will always buy physical games if possible because I am one of those people who likes having physical games. I like the box art. I like special editions. I like seeing how they look on my shelf. I just like them. So, otherwise, like, there wouldn't be, I feel like I wouldn't have a lot of stuff in my house if I didn't have stuff from limited edition games, you know?
Right.
I'd have a lot more anime figures. That's for sure.
I'm cool with digital. When I do buy things physically, I feel like at this point it's almost just on a whim. Like, I mean, I maintain, like, my own storage and, like, backups and whatnot, but digital just seems more convenient for me. This way I see it.
I mean, there is a game coming out next month that I am planning on buying both digitally and physically, which makes me a bad person. I want to never have to stand up in order to put a disc in order to play Hitman 2.
However,
I'll be damned if I don't get that, like, fancy Hitman 2 collector's edition.
Right?
You know,
wait,
like,
doesn't it? Oh wait, actually, I can't remember. Because I know, like, don't some, like, collector's editions also come with, like, a digital code that you can just use?
Some do. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then some are like, here's a disc. And I'm like, well, thank you for the disc. I appreciate it. But then that disc means I have to stand up.
Oh, man.
I don't mind standing up to change my games. That's like the 2 seconds of exercise I get. I'm so funny. No, really. Like, I don't mind.
Especially now, like, with my Switch and my PS4, I only own 2 games on each of them physically, which are Splatoon 2 and Mario plus Rabbids on Switch, and Overwatch Origins Edition and Monster Hunter World. And I don't play Overwatch, specifically because it would require me to take out my Monster Hunter disc, and I know it's just going to end up back in there anyways. And so that's actually the reason I don't play Overwatch. I remember I played a couple weeks ago with a friend, and I hadn't played in like 7 months or something, so I had to download a 20 gig patch. I played for like 2 hours, and then I took it out and I put Monster Hunter back in.
Yeah, I remember buying Monster Hunter World digitally because I'm like, yeah, this is going to work out, and this way I'll never have to stand up. And then I was like, yeah, it wouldn't have mattered.
Right, man.
Yeah, I actually got to the point where I wish I had bought Monster Hunter World physically ... for reasons.
My friend's been personally victimized by a video game.
Yeah, you know, because like I'm sure that hey, Tegan, you still got that copy of Monster Hunter World?
No, I don't.
That's what I thought. More power to you.
It just wasn't my cup of tea. That's okay.
Yep, that's fine.
It is fine.
I look forward to December when Rocky's making his case for how high Monster Hunter World is going to need to be on our top 10, because Rocky's going to have a steep hill to climb because there's going to be 2 people who are like, I had a bad time.
Yeah.
No. I had a bad time, but that doesn't mean it was a bad game.
Yeah, no, I know that, and I know that it's going to make the top 10. I'm just wondering how high he'll gun for placement. That's where I see the struggle being.
I'm gonna have a lot of fun this game of the year. Actually.
Oh man. So I guess that's what we think, Mr. Roger. We think that collectors and economic considerations, and Brian is forgetful, preservation. Rocky.
Yeah.
Tell the good people the stuff.
Oh, okay. So guys, if you've listened to our show, and you know all of us, probably a little bit more than you want to, but if you liked what you heard, or even if you didn't, we'd appreciate some feedback. You can find us on the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. But if you really want to tell us how you really feel, please leave a review. On iTunes is ideal. Brian will get you a special gift if you do. But you can also leave reviews on Google Play and Stitcher. There is also music at the beginning and end of this podcast. It's produced by our friend Big Sach. He was on last week. He's a real cool dude. You can find him on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/BigSachNJ, or you can follow him on Twitter at Illyry_Swank. We do stream. I tend to do Mondays, Monster Hunter Mondays, which is now just a generalized kind of stream where I fight monsters in various games rather than Monster Hunter specifically. Brian still streams sometimes, but it's a little bit more sporadic. But you'll see it on the Facebooks. He's definitely around for it.
The streaming will return on the reg when a certain special game releases next month. Also, by then, I will be on my regular work schedule, so it should be pretty easy. But I'll be coming at you with Hitman 2.
Shoutouts.
Yeah, where we are going to, get leveled up on every map. We're going to start making some contracts. We're going to start playing some contracts. We've got guys to murder. I feel like probably the most... Rocky, I did just want to take a moment before we actually finally put a pin in this thing today and just shout outs and thanks to Rocky and good work, sir, for absolutely putting in the yeoman's work to get that 5-person episode. I was worried it would break Rocky. It did not break him. He's still with us. So, good job, sir.
I have to thank my team, my rabbi, my priest, and my shaman for blessing me and warding me through that troubled time. But I got it done. It only took forever, but I do it for you guys.
Well, shit. Is that a show, guys?
That is a show.
That's a show.
Well, peace.
Bye.
Later.